Thanks for staying with us. Now get green and get going. Well, teenagers armed with gloves and a notebook played example by bending over to pick up the strewn spoons and food packets themselves at the Besanagar beach today. But they say that this is no ordinary weekend cleanup, as the final report will be handed over to the big boss, the corporation commissioner himself, in a week's time.
LA's beach is a hit with Chennai's youngsters. But this unusual group of volunteers fanned out on the sands this weekend looking for garbage and noted down details in an effort to study pollution patterns.
Collecting numbers of different waste that can be found on the beach. So this is going to be put together, and we'll have data that states what exactly is found on the beach.
This is the second annual garbage audit by the Reclaim Our Beaches organization. Last year's study collected more than 20,000 pieces of trash, which included 1,645 pieces of broken glass. The volunteers hope the study will help Chennai Corporation find ways to cut down garbage on the city's beaches.
So a lot of our cleanups are actually awareness events. After this, we're going to have petitions. We're going to send a petition to the corporation saying this is what, as residents, as members of an organization, this is what we want.
The activists in their report to the corporation are expected to suggest a most basic requirement: garbage bins on beaches, amid efforts by authorities to give the city's seafront a facelift. In Chennai, Pratiksha for NDTV Hindu.
Now, with organ failures becoming almost an epidemic now and the huge shortage of organs in the country, looks like the only way forward is to spread the word that every single person, including you and I, can save more than just one life. Our reporter Zoya Thomas brings you this special report on the 6th World Organ Donation Day.
Ten years ago, Raj Gopal was hanging on to life by a thinning thread. His death sentence, irreversible kidney failure. Today, he walks proud and healthy, endowed with the gift of a kidney, a perfect match from his son.
Kidney transplant is not a very easy thing because you have to find a matching kidney for which you require a proper donor. And in those days when I had mine, there were no cadaver transplants available. So we went through, and my son suddenly decided that I should go on living, and he decided to donate his kidneys.
The wait for an organ has unfortunately gone into the negative by a huge margin in Tamil Nadu. A look at the number of organ transplants show that kidneys alone take up a lion's share, whereas the real story of demand is clearly overwhelming.
Unfortunately, in our country, there is a rising incidence of diabetes and hypertension, and this is causing many organ failures to happen. This is the next epidemic waiting to happen, organ failure, because you know that how many cases of diabetes and hypertension we do have in our country. So I think the message of organ donation is very, very apt at this moment of time, and this is what is required.
Voluntary cadaveric organ donation, or simply put, donating organs of a person who has passed away, can save up to 9 lives. A worthy legacy, perhaps. In Chennai, Zoya Thomas for NDTV Hindu.
And Dr. Sumana Naveen from the Mohan Foundation and Dr. Suresh, a nephrologist with the Sundaram Medical Foundation, spoke to us about the need for awareness of specific types of donation and where the state is headed in the process.
Live donation, I think most people are aware in a certain way, because you talk live donation, they think kidneys immediately. And unfortunately, until very recently, it was for all the wrong reasons,
yes.
you know, because kidneys being bought and sold.
Illegal reasons, yes.
Yes, and now, in fact, for the past 14 years, it's been illegal as far as the Transplantation of Human Organs Act goes.
Right.
You know, they say no commercial dealings. So at that point, they also recognize the fact that cadaver donation, or what we call now deceased organ donation, is the way to go ahead.
At the current time, things look very positive. I think, as you said, partly it's because Tamil Nadu has a very healthy private sector healthcare sector in place,
right.
and it's been around for 15 odd years. So it's not the infrastructure, it's also the personnel trained, the doctors, nurses, the medical team. So I think it was primed to sort of take on such a challenge like this. And in recent times, the policies and the government has put in place a lot of mechanism to help it.
So we keep doing all these awareness programs, we've been doing it through all these years, 12 years to be precise. The media plays a large role in this, and positive stories about organ donation, that's what catches people's imagination, and they realize if someone else can do it, why can't we? So I think it is happening. In fact, now over the past 2 years, we've had almost 120 organ donors from Tamil Nadu alone. So I think that's very, very positive.
Well, moving to some national news now, a court in Delhi has directed the Delhi police to file a case of sedition against writer and activist Arundhati Roy, hardline Hurriyat leader Saeed Ali Shah Gilani and 5 others. The court also asked the state cops to file a complaint report by the 6th of January. This is in connection with a petition filed about their alleged anti-India remarks at a convention on Azadi held last month in New Delhi. Hurriyat hardliner Gilani was heckled at that particular seminar, but the Delhi police had maintained that there was no case for sedition. Well, staying with national news, the Jagan Mohan Reddy-owned Sakshi Television's attack on Prime Minister Dr. Singh and Sonia Gandhi has gone an ugly step further with a fresh attack against Rahul Gandhi and the newly appointed Chief Minister Kiran Kumar Reddy. On the spree of attacks, the Urban Development Minister Jaypal Reddy has slammed Junior Reddy Jagan Mohan, saying that he is letting his channel be used against the party, calling it undesirable. But sources close to Jagan say he is not involved with the day-to-day operations at Sakshi television channel. Up on the other side, Guangzhou was the place to be this weekend. Catch the Saturday night fever you may have missed out on up on the other side.